Yeah, so we've come here to protest against bad governance, and they've sent their APC cohorts to disrupt us. Yeah?
It's more body.
Yeah. So they've sent some APC supporters who obviously knows that Tinubu is a criminal to come and probably to come and disrupt our peaceful protest. I'm just recording this so that you know them. Should anything happen to any of us, you hold them responsible. He is not our president. He is a criminal. He is a criminal. He is a drug baron. He is a drug baron. He is not a criminal. And you have no right to be here. He is a drug baron.
We are not here to quarrel you guys. If you are happy,
you have no business here. You have no business here. If you want to protest,
listen.
So one thing is sacrosanct here. Lady Bolande has spoken a whole lot about the elections, about the rigging, about the electoral malpractice, judicial corruption, and a whole lot. But then, in all this, we need to establish one fact, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not represent most of us. The problem now is that it's not even about what has played out, it's about our reputation out there. I was speaking with a friend and I said, if you see a Nigerian professor with our green passport, and probably a cleaner from the United States with the blue passport or the red passport, I don't know which is which now, you will see that the cleaner from the United States is giving more honor, is giving more respect over a professor with a green passport. And it's no fault of his, it's just how bad our country, the image of our country has been painted out here. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not our president. And I want to appeal to everyone, to the world at large, not to judge Nigerians by what is being portrayed out there. He didn't win the election. Nigerians didn't vote for him. He was only imposed on us by INEC and the institutions out there. So he cannot represent the over 200 million Nigeria, both resident in Nigeria and in diaspora and across the globe. We have wonderful Nigerians across various institutions in the world doing wonderfully well, and we cannot be represented by a rogue. We say no to that. We didn't vote him in. And just to add more flavor to this, we need to state it here that most of our people back home are gagged. Over 70% of Nigerians wants to go out there to make their voices heard, but they are gagged. They are being intimidated by the institution. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have already established a full state capture. He has the military on his side, he has the judiciary on his side, he has the executive, he has established a full state capture. And no one can do anything anymore in Nigeria. It's as bad as that. And people are so scared to come out there. There is hunger in the land already. The economy is dwindling. So people are so scared to come out there and make some noise. They don't know what's going to happen. Last year, or was it some years ago, 2 years ago to be precise, some people went out there to protest against, some bad practices by the police force called SARS. 2 years ago, called SARS. And they were killed, they were shot at by the military and the police. Such atrocity. Such terrible things that happen in Nigeria. And we are saying enough is enough. We can't remain gagged. And if they think they will keep our people gagged back to, we are more than determined. We are more than determined. Whatever it will take, we are gonna keep protesting for them across the globe. In Canada, in the US, in Australia, in Germany, in the UK. We are going to continue protesting for as long as our strength can carry us. But want to make it clear and establish that fact that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a rogue.
Yes.
He doesn't qualify, just like someone said. I wouldn't maybe take him so low as a cleaner, but he doesn't even qualify to be a secretary because he doesn't have the necessary requirement. Everything he has in the UK, everything he has is fraudulent, from his name to his certificate to most other things. We don't know who he is. And we cannot continue this way in Nigeria. Things are going back. Nigeria is so blessed. We are blessed with the best of things: human resources, natural resources, determined men and ladies, industrious human beings, very gallant human beings. Anything you can think of, we have it in Nigeria. Look at our people. Look at the wonderful. If you come to music, we are overtaken everywhere. We have the wonderful Wizkid, Bonabo. We are all doing well across the globe. We have other representatives. We have the doctors, the teachers. We have the lawyers. We have people doing very well in their respective fields in the UK. And you all know this. BBC knows this. BBC knows that Nigerians are industrious people. BBC knows that Nigerians cannot, in their best interest, elect a rogue as a president. And what they do is to go out there on the news to support him, to say that his certificate is real. We do not expect this from the BBC. Look at the Prime Minister of the UK. The Prime Minister of the UK is a perfect gentleman. Look at the previous leaders of the UK. Well-learned individuals. People that you can put out there. People that you can be proud of. And what do? They support such atrocities in Nigeria where fraud and every other thing goes on. Probably because they want a puppet. I think that's the only thing that explains it. They want someone that can control. I would say that nothing would happen. It's high time we start saying these things. It's high time we start. BBC knows that Tinubu forged a certificate in Chicago State University. I do not know who he is. I do not know who went on air to say that the certificate is real. But we challenge them any day, anytime to call us to BBC to discuss these things, and I will leave it at that. Yes. But what we are saying here is that Nigeria doesn't have a truly democratic president. Yep. We are still in an autocratic setting.
Yes.
We need to establish that fact here, and everybody needs to know that. I will stop it here. Probably some other day we'll talk more about these things, probably on the studio, probably some other protest, but I know that this is the start of something great. Yep. This is the start of something great, and I believe that with time, in no distant time, Nigeria will be fully liberated and totally liberated, and all our enemies will be put to shame just very soon. Thank you, and God bless you.
My voice to a problem that has gone far too long without being addressed. The reason I stand here today is not because I am a politician. As a matter of fact, you can verify this. I am not a card-carrying member of any particular political party on the planet Earth. Not in the United Kingdom, not in Nigeria, nowhere else. I have never been in the fore of political activities, and I don't plan to anytime soon. But however we run away from issues that relate to politics, it always catches up to us. We are all subject to political developments, whether we like it or not. And I think recent development in Nigeria has given me a rude shock. And that is the reason I'm here. My appeal is to Nigerians, and I'll start by mentioning something that happened earlier today whilst we were in front of the Nigeria House. In as much as APC card-carrying members were there to disrupt our activities, in the end, something beautiful happened, and I want to highlight. We all sang the Nigerian national anthem in unison. I think that is a point of convergence. And I want to appeal to every patriotic Nigerian out there. It is time for us to unite. It doesn't matter whether you're a card-carrying member of any political party, or you're like myself who doesn't carry any party membership. It is time for us to confront the issues that bedevil our nation. Our women are dying at the point of childbirth in their numbers. Our children under 5 mortality rate is high. Poverty does not spare us regardless of your political inclinations. Banditry, kidnapping. Our people cannot go to their farms without being killed. Why do we allow these things continue to happen? I give all Nigerians a charge. It is time for us to answer to that national anthem we sing. Nigerians, arise. What we are doing today, it is protected in the Constitution of Nigeria. The Constitution states very clearly that at such a time, when the people constitute themselves into an authority that is at variance with what is provided, the office of the citizen is empowered to resist. I paraphrase. This is the last line of defense. We need to rise as a people and challenge the aberration that has taken over our land. Enough is enough, Nigerians. Enough is enough. How much more will it take? We have leadership that are very detached from the people. How could the government, after being sworn in Nigeria, the first thing they know to do was to budget for a yacht to be purchased? Whatever name they call it, I don't care. It was called the Devil Yacht. It was called what? I don't care. It is immoral. It is wrong.
Yes.
How could they budget monies to all the lawmakers because the roads are bad? Who should fix the roads?
The government.
Is it not your responsibility? Yes. And the reason why I'm standing here today, BBC, is because I am disappointed. I am disappointed. As someone who pays taxes and TV license, I am very much appalled by your reportage, especially by the article you published regarding Bola Ahmed Tinubu's certificate. You could have told a balanced line, but you went out to categorically state on a matter that is open for everyone who has got an ounce of intelligence to analyze. You went out to say there were no evidence of forgery. At least you could have been a bit more balanced. That is very poor journalism, BBC, and we expect more. Finally, Nigerians, this is our call. No one is going to come to our aid. This is our problem, and we need to unite across party lines. This is not politics anymore. This is our country going down the drain, and every well-meaning Nigeria needs to rise. We need to come together and save Nigeria. Thank you.
The reason why we're here is because the common man has become the last hope of the common man. We went through every single step that was required of us, and we got to the end, and we were let down as a people. What we have as a leader is a John Doe. Nobody knows who he is. And what really has brought us to BBC is the fact that BBC knows this. BBC knows this is not true. We do not know who this man is. And yet BBC decided to write an article on the 11th of October purporting to claim that Bola Tinubu certificate was authenticated by Chicago State University. We know that is a lie. We know Bola Tinubu did not go to school. We know we do not have his educational records. We do not even have a record of his entire life. We don't know who his father is. We don't know who his mother is, his brother, his sister. We don't know where he comes from. And yet, the West have fawned over this man. With BBC actually writing an article to whitewash his personality, to whitewash his background. This is not right, because what you have done is to support bad governance in Nigeria by supporting somebody that is not qualified to be there. A person that is not qualified to have a job should not have it. It wouldn't happen here. So why would it happen in Nigeria? This is what we are standing against. That an organization like BBC is using its name, its brand, to spread falsehood. This is the impact. I'll tell you the impact. When BBC spreads this falsehood and bad governance persists in Nigeria, we start to have mass migration. Mass migration is one of BBC's favorite topics.
Yes.
Mass migration is one of BBC's favorite topics. The hypocrisy hurts me. The hypocrisy is unbelievable. The hypocrisy is palpable. But BBC writes lies to support bad governance.
Yes.
It is wrong how these people get away with this thing. We have to call them out. BBC is a hypocrite. Because BBC supports lies, and then it will write about the impact as if those people decided on their own to take to the seas, to take to the desert, to look for a better life. When you could have stood by the truth, you could have told the truth, BBC, and you still have a chance to tell the truth. Take down your article. It is a lie because you're supporting propaganda.
Yep.
You are supporting propaganda, and we're going to keep calling you out until you take that article down. What you are doing is practically criminal because it is leading to the loss of lives. People are going to be leaving that country in droves, and then you call them economic migrants. When they're fighting for their rights, where do you stand? With the oppressors. Why do you get away with it? This is wrong. And we're here to call BBC out.
Happening in Nigeria for a very long time. And we had thought that with the advent of the 2022 Electoral Act, that things were about to change. Young people all over Nigeria and indeed all over the world participated in an election. Unfortunately, Nigeria hadn't changed and people lost their lives, while the election itself was deeply flawed, with rigging on such a level as we've never seen before. The election umpire then announced Bola Tinubu as the winner of that election. They have no evidence. They could not bring any evidence to the court arena. Everybody knows that nobody voted for him. He is part of a party that has been in government for the last 8 years, and Nigerians have known nothing but insecurity, abject poverty. In fact, the World Health Organization said that 133 million Nigerians are suffering from multidimensional poverty. The person we voted for, Peter Obi, a law-abiding man for whom his name is more important than any wealth the world can give, headed to the courts, as did Atiku Abubakar, who was also contesting in that election. But unfortunately, the rot in the system was a lot deeper than we believed or thought it to be. And as such, we did not get justice from the election, for the flawed election, for the rigging, and people, it would seem, would have died for nothing. But we're here today because the reason why nobody voted for this man is because, first and foremost, we don't know his real name. There are multiple ages in the public realm. Was he born in 1952, 1935, 1954, or 1955? Is his name Bola Tinubu? Or is it Amoda Ogunlere? Or indeed is it Bola Adekunle Tinubu? We know for a fact that the person he purports to be his mother did not give birth to him. We do not know his parents or his heritage. But what we do know is that he traveled to the United States in the 70s, and all he did whilst there was commit one crime after the other. So much so that when a request was made for the FBI to release their records, they informed us that he had 70,000 pages of his criminality. The man has not done an honest thing in his life. We also got to know, following a deposition in the United States, that Chicago State University, who he claimed to have been his alma mater, the university he claimed to have attended, did not give him the certificate that he submitted to INEC. It is a crying shame that although our constitution in Nigeria makes it very clear that anybody who submits a forged certificate to INEC will be disqualified, Instead of dealing with substantial justice, the justices decided to deal with technicalities, and they threw out clear evidence of his criminality. But here's the thing, whilst they say the judiciary, it's very for last man, but at the end of the day, only we Nigerians can rescue Nigeria. And for that reason, we're here.
Yes.
Here in front of BBC, who has become part of our problem, who decided to write an article that attempted to whitewash a man who is deeply, in fact, we don't know how deep, he's a criminal, right? They tried to whitewash the fact that he forged the certificate. The BBC, who we are paying for with our TV license fee, decided that they were going to whitewash somebody who is about to become a political despot, a leader in Africa.
And our constitution on its head. Bola Tinubu is a thief, he is a corrupt man, he's a certificate holder.
My name is Jackson Uday. I'm the Secretary General of the Coalition New Nigerian Diaspora Movement. With me here is the Director of Mobilization and Contact, Comrade Timmy Frank. In our determination to save Nigeria's democracy, deepen democratic institutions and values, protect our shared common interests, and protect the integrity of our country, the leadership of 30 different Nigerian diaspora organizations concluded a meeting that began 1 week ago to review the sham judgment of the Supreme Court of Nigeria on October 26, 2023, and demand that Bola Tinubu must resign to save the integrity of the Nigerian presidency. It is our belief that Mr. Tinubu not only rigged the 2023 presidential elections, but he does not possess the academic credentials to run for that election. Tinubu forged the Chicago State University degree certificate and as such committed forgery, for which he must be prosecuted. Tinubu is also a member of a drug cartel in the United States of America, as per the FBI document recently released. CNNDM has agreed that a reclaimed Nigerian diaspora protest, a peaceful protest, non-violent protest, will be held around the world to expose the criminality of Bola Tinubu and demand his immediate resignation. CNNDM agreed to help mobilize and support any group in Nigeria to join the movement and the 30 days mass peaceful protest of reclaiming Nigeria. CNNDM agreed that Nigerian Americans should begin reaching out to their congressmen and congresswomen and pressure them to push the US Congress to begin an inquest on the 2023 presidential elections in Nigeria, the Chicago State University and Bola Tinubu certificate scandal, and why the FBI refused to prosecute Tinubu for all his crimes. CNNDM agreed to raise $10 million for the 30 days peaceful mass protests and litigation that is being planned against Bola Tinubu in the US for all his crimes. CNNDM demand from the EU, the UK, and the United States to, as a matter of urgency, place visa ban on all the justices and judges of the Appeal and Supreme Court who gave the sham judgment that legalized Bola Tinubu as president of Nigeria. CNNDM agreed to mandate the Contact and Mobilization Committee, headed by my comrade here beside me, Comrade Timmy Frank, to announce a date for the protest that will be held soon. This action, fellow Nigerians, is aimed at reclaiming Nigeria from the hands of criminals who have taken over that country. CNNDM believes that Mr. Bola Tinubu remains an illegitimate president of Nigeria on account of his drug crimes and certificate forgery, for which he refused to declare when he sought to run for the 2023 presidential elections. CNNDM agreed to continue to pile the necessary pressure locally and internationally, using all peaceful and legal means to force Bola Tinubu out of office. The group will mobilize Nigerians and protest in every country Bola Tinubu intends to visit to show to the world that he is a certificate forger, a drug criminal, and unfit to lead any nation. Nigeria must save itself. Nigerians must save Nigeria from criminal cartel and not